centre. All the indications are that 3 months ago in London, a man was ambushed and fought back against attackers. How could that have happened without anybody seeing it or hearing it? Detectives from the Met have been presented with statements and other evidence that on the face of it simply don't add up. Tonight they hope that Crimewatch viewers will help to solve the riddle. Robert Jones was doing tests for methane gas on a waste disposal site near Red Hill, Surrey. Beneath a mound of white powder, he could clearly see a body. The powder turned out to be a form of lime, presumably placed there to hasten decomposition, but it actually protected or mummified the body. There was a perfectly preserved tattoo, and a picture of it was quickly dispatched to the Missing Persons Bureau. George Leitch had gone missing 4 weeks earlier, on Friday the 2nd of July. He came from southeast London and was married with a young son.
George was a really lovely fella. He was really popular with everyone. Everyone really liked him. He was life and soul of the party. He was a bit of a jack the lad, really. He really loved his son. He was a really good father. I just can't understand why anyone would want to kill him.
Whoever did kill him would probably have needed help. George was fit and proud of his physique.
That's mine. How about double or nothing? Told you I was hot, didn't I?
George had been without a regular job for several months and spent a lot of time at a club known as The Bar in Beckenham, which he'd helped his brother-in-law Martin to establish. He was trying to organise a hen night for the following evening.
Oh, come on, it's going to be great. Phil's going to be the MC, you know, and all his gob. There's going to be a male strip of the lot. Martin will keep it going late.
George was a blinding guy. He was very kind, very generous. He was a true professional. He always loved to organise events.
Great.
He would make sure everything was just right, perfect. And to sum it up, I would say that George was the perfect entrepreneur.
At any rate, he had been good in business, but his own bar, Gossips, had been smashed up by a gang. Some say George had been trying to stop drug dealing in the premises. Nevertheless, his livelihood was lost. The morning of the day he disappeared, Friday the 2nd of July.
Listen, what time are you coming home tonight?
I don't know, 8:30?
Oh, so I suppose that means 10, eh?
No, don't worry, I'll be there.
Yeah, OK.
George had arranged for Martin to collect him and take him to the bar.
See you down there, eh?
George was really bubbly that morning when he left. He did have a lot of problems, money-wise, but he didn't really let it show, and he was really looking forward to the evening.
One of the best musicals ever, the 1954.
Sunshine, yeah!
Oh, sorry, Mike, can we go to Mum's? I've got to pick up a few things. Anyway, I said I'd meet Richard here. Won't be long.
All right.
Hi, mate. Sorry to keep you waiting. Hi, Mum.
Are you staying for a cup of tea?
No, no time. Oh, isn't she good to me? Thanks, Mum. I'll pick it up later. I'll just have a word with Martin and we'll be off. I'll see you down the bar. I want to have a chat with Richie.
OK, mate, see you out there.
While Martin drove off to the bar, George set off with Richard.
Jesus, Richie, I'm having a lot of trouble with the brewery. I'm trying to do a deal with them to soften the loan. I'm seeing them next Tuesday.
What are you going to say?
I don't know. I did want to ask your advice. Hey, you coming tonight? Sort of a ladies' night upstairs and everybody else will be downstairs. I've so much to do.
Richard recalls dropping George off at roughly 12:40.
So I'll see you later, yeah?
Yeah, I'll give you a bell.
This is Beckenham High Street, about 100 yards from Martin's bar. Did you see someone dressed in this distinctive style anywhere at lunchtime or thereafter on Friday the 2nd of July?
And she said, that's why they call me a corksocker. So he said to me, and what do you do for a living? I said, I'm what you thought the other two were. Well, I've got a lovely next-door neighbour called Vera. I was just, you know, doing a bit of gardening, cross-pollinating some marigolds with a red-hot poker. But, you know, I must tell you, girls, that last night...
Have you seen George yet?
No, I'm afraid I haven't.
It wasn't just me asking, everybody was asking. Mum and sister were there, they was wondering where he was. Looking back, you know, I think we was all starting to get a bit worried about it because he just definitely would have been there if he could have been.
George Leitch had been stabbed 3 times, probably on the day he disappeared, and marks on the body suggest that at least 2 people were involved in killing him. But green grass beneath the body shows he hadn't lain here long. That means for 3 weeks, someone was concealing George's body. Steve, Landy, that lime was a bad idea. It backfired on them in many ways. They used a lot of it, though. Where did they get it from?
Well, it's used in the building trade and agricultural fields, and I would appeal to anyone who's had that amount stolen.
How much did they use in total?
54 kilos, or in fact, maybe someone purchased that amount in mid-July or even June.
That's more than 1 bag, is it? I mean,
probably 2.
At least. Okay, that would have been, what, early July, even in June?
Early June or July.
Okay, the place where George's body was dumped is a place where many people might have seen something happen. It's about a quarter mile off the A25 Nutfield Road, a place called Cormongers Lane. Now, what do you want people to have looked out for and when?
Indeed. What I'm very interested in is any suspicious vehicle, particularly in the last week of July, because we now know, though he was found on the 30th, clearly he has only been there for a maximum of 7 days. We know of vehicles involved because of the tire marks found and blue paint at a certain height on a nearby tree at the same spot.
So you know it was a blue vehicle, what, a van or a car or what?
I suspect a van, but it could have been a car.
So if anybody saw a blue vehicle, anyone there in the last week of July, sometime around that time in Cormongers Lane, you want them to call?
Indeed.
When he disappeared, I mean, the last sighting of him appears to have been in Beckenham High Street, but actually nobody saw him there.
Nobody saw him, and that's strange because he was well known, very well liked in that area. Somebody should have seen him, and it may be we can still appeal to people who may have seen him on that Friday the 2nd of July when he disappeared, or for that matter, they may have seen him in other parts nearby of South London.
Or have discovered his clothing somewhere. There's short trousers, the white shirt, black sandals are missing, and I think his jewellery is gone
Indeed.
as well.
When he was found, he was naked, so we're interested to know if anyone's been asked to dispose of that clothing, black shorts and white shirt. But what is most unique is the jewellery. And he wore 2 rings, both 9-carat gold, and a bracelet and a unique watch. The bracelet and the rings were square as opposed to circular, and they themselves are unusual. The watch was a French make, and as your picture shows, was quite unusual.
There's the watch, Emmerich and Mearson. If you've heard any rumours about this, anything at all, if you've got any information that you think just might help fill in this puzzle, please do call us here. The number in the studio is easy to remember and calls will cost you nothing. 0500 600 600. There's a very big reward that's been put up by the family on this today. Money has been lodged with the solicitor, £20,000. 0500 600 600, or you can call the incident room in Southwark. That's on 071 403 3850. 071 403 3850.